Chandler Catanzaro is the new kicker of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We've signed him for a 3-year deal, basically worth, I'm just going to round it up to $10 million. So what does this mean for the Bucs kicking game? What does this mean for just what does this mean for the Bucs kicking game in general? Because obviously that's a really big deal to us Bucs fans. We have not had a good situation in kickers. Me personally, I was a Patrick Murray guy. But, you know, we don't get everything we want sometimes, and that's fine, you know. Patrick Murray, it's fine, you know, who cares? So we're moving on to Chandler Catanzaro now, formerly of the New York Jets, as well as the Arizona Cardinals. He has been in the league 4 seasons, 4 or 5? Let me check real quick. I'm pretty sure it's 4 seasons, right? 3 of the Arizona Cardinals and then 1 with the New York Jets. And honestly, I'm impressed with Chandler Catanzaro. And by the way, if you want to follow him on Instagram, the link to that will be right in the description below. It's going to be the first thing in the line, so you can follow him on Instagram there. If you want to, you know, engage him more, maybe comment on one of his photos, like, hey, welcome to Tampa, you know, we're going to make some field goals and we'll be happy. And if not, well, then we're going to want you to get cut. You know, maybe just say something like that, you know, just to encourage him a little bit. So we have signed Chandler Catanzaro, which I do like this move. I know I've liked every move the Bucs have made this free agency period, but flat out I do. I mean, I do. A lot of people are scared of the Bucs bringing in any form of kicker, and I can understand that. We went from Roberto Aguayo to Nick Folk to Patrick Murray in 1 season. Think about that. Think about that. We went from Roberto Aguayo to Nick Folk to Patrick Murray in 1 season. That's incredible to me. Now, Roberto Aguayo and Nick Folk don't have a team right now, which they probably won't have a team ever, which is fine, whatever. I feel bad for them. I wish them nothing but the best. You know, they've probably made a few million. Well, they both probably had some guarantees in their contracts, so they might be millionaires. They might not. They might have to, you know, they might have to have shared a little bit of that money with their agents. So, you know, nothing but the best for them. But let's talk about the new guy, Chandler Catanzaro. I like this move a lot. And it's not just because he has nice hair and he has nice style of dressing. You can tell that, like, there's sometimes not a lot to talk about with kickers. But so I'm just kind of like just saying, oh, well, he looks nice, you know, but just trust me on this. This guy's actually not a bad kicker. He actually does something interesting that I saw where he'll kind of make mental targets of where he wants to put the ball, and I like that idea a lot. If I was to ever be a kicker, that sounds like a really good idea. If I was asking a veteran kicker for advice and they said, okay, well, just make mental targets in your mind of like where you want to do it, and he's getting really in depth with it. You know, he's gonna go with the special teams coordinator and get a tour of the facility so he can kind of make mental targets in his mind. And he's going to, you know, study Tampa's weather conditions and whatnot like that. Like, really in-depth stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, Chandler's going to do his homework, which I love the dedication like that. So the whole mentally making targets. So he kind of has targets in his mind of where he wants to kick the ball in certain field goal situations. I like that a lot. I think that's a very smart thing. I think Chandler Catanzaro is a very smart kicker. And I think he doesn't get the jittery. I don't think he gets jittery that much is what I'm trying to say. He's been pretty accurate throughout his 4 years in the league. And speaking of his accuracy in the league, so Chandler Catanzaro, and I'm not going to compare this to Patrick Murray because Patrick Murray's stats, he's only had 1 full season as a kicker, and he made 83.3% of his field goals, and that was back in 2014. This more recent season, he made 82.6 of his field goals and made 95.5% of his extra points, just for frame of reference here. But looking at Chandler Catanzaro's stats, they're pretty similar, but I don't think they're that bad in my opinion. In 2014, he hit 87.9% of his field goals, then 90.3% in 2015, then 75% in 2016, so a bit of a dip. It was at that point the Cardinals released him and he went to the New York Jets, where he bounced back and hit 83.3%. So he's kind of on the uptick again. He started out his career very, very, very well. But he's kind of bouncing back, so to speak, and I think that's good. In terms of his kickoffs, he's done very well. The average return for his kickoffs has gone down every single year from 26.1 yards to 24.3 to 23.1 to 20.7. So he's a very phenomenal kickoff artist. his averages go down every year for that, and I think that's important, obviously. Very strong leg. Obviously, it's funny, his kickoff averages are going down a lot as well, from 66 to 65 to 62 to 61, but I think that's because they moved the certain rule changes with kickoffs and whatnot. I think they moved the ball a little bit, so that's probably an explanation of that as well. But on extra points, his first season he hit 100%, then 91.4 in season 2, then 91.5 in season 3, and then this past season he was 100%, 29 for 29 extra points, and that's huge. Just for a frame of reference, you know, if you miss an extra point or two, that can honestly cost you the game. I mean, look at there's teams in the past, I think it was like Graham Gano, who you know, there's kickers like Graham Gano. I think it happened to Steven Gostkowski a couple of times, you know. Kickers can miss kicks, like it might not seem much, it's like, oh, it's only 1 point. Well, that can affect your score a lot. So the fact that he was 100% on his extra points last year, that's huge. In 83.3, that's not too bad. That's a little bit better than Patrick Murray. I believe it's only like 1 point something percent. No, less than 1%. It's less than 1% better than Patrick Murray. But I like this move. I think he'll be a very solid kicker, very smart kicker, and if he can have the seasons that he had in 2014 and 2015, which it looks like he's bouncing back that way, then I think that we will have a very solid kicker on our hands. It all just matters on how he bounces back from the 2016 season in Arizona. It looks like he's starting to come back to form. Just looking at it from last season, I believe the front office staff believes in it too. So yeah, yeah, that was a lot. I made a 7-minute video on talking about Chandler Catanzaro. Again, if you want to follow him on Instagram, he's down in the comment section below. Bucs fans, let me know. Did you like the move? Did you hate the move? Are you scared of Chandler Catanzaro and worried that he might not do good? Personally, I think he'll do good. I've said that about every kicker. I'm personally, I was a Patrick Murray guy, but now I'm a Chandler Catanzaro guy. I think he's a very smart kicker. I really like that thing where he mentally makes targets for himself to kick. I think that's really, really smart. So yeah, let me know if you liked the move, if you didn't like the move, and if you're new, go ahead and subscribe and like it if you did like the move, or if you're just new, subscribe, because we're on the road to 1,000, like, and we're almost to 900, and it's pretty awesome. So yeah, let me know down in the comment section below, and as always, guys, I will see you in the next video, but until then, goodbye for now, guys. See ya.